Here at the Porcupine Freedom Festival, hundreds of lovers of freedom have gathered here at Gunstock Mountain Resort in Gilford, New Hampshire to celebrate freedom, to meet each other, to buy overpriced hamburgers and hot dogs, to drink at the bar, to visit nice vendors, real estate, and various other things which we'll check out here.
Yeah, I'd really like to find some way to get the word out of it.
One of our perennial favorites is Bureaucrash, who has had a booth here for I don't know how long, and they're selling stickers and provocative t-shirts with very funny messages on them. And, well, that's not provocative, it's pretty much self-evident. But manning the booth here and open carrying is Pete Eyre, who is Crasher-in-Chief of Bureaucrash. You can sit down if you want.
All right.
The light's actually better if you do.
Sure.
Pete, well, now the light's better. Pete, aside from selling funny t-shirts, which I love,
right.
What does Bureaucrash do?
Bureaucrash is a non-profit, it's a 501c3, and we're ideas-based activism for freedom. We try to get people to think, to orient themselves more towards freedom rather than statism, and we try to use creative activism to do that. So we have mediums like the contraband you just saw. We have videos that we post on YouTube. We have podcasts that we interview intellectuals, movement people, activists. We do what we call crashes, which are kind of counter-protests. Sometimes we kind of infiltrate more statist groups and try to get them to draw out their ideas to their logical conclusion and really point out the hypocrisy in what they're advocating. So it's basically we're trying to act as a catalyst for freedom. We're trying to get folks to orient themselves for freedom.
Yeah, I've seen your I guess RV around, or truck, or whatever it is. Is that the vehicle you do your crashes from?
Actually, that vehicle is no longer in operation, so our crashes that are local, and we're based out of DC. We have some stuff where we can just turn out. Otherwise, there's crashes sometimes held in international locations. People fly out there sometimes. But ideally, I want to make Bureaucrash a little bit more decentralized and allow crashers in our network to work with each other, to share their tacit knowledge, and to hold events spontaneously in their own areas.
Very nice. Can you give an example of a crash that you've done recently?
The most recent one that I participated in was outside the Argentinian embassy, and we did one outside the Zimbabwean embassy recently as well. But basically, just to point out the really burdensome government, the state apparatuses in those countries that's really harming individuals and usurping their rights. So, but more kind of funny stuff we've done in the past when Sicko, the movie, the documentary, the pseudo-documentary came out in DC. Michael Moore was there, so some of my predecessors and some other folks turned out. One dressed as Fidel Castro in a wheelchair, and some ladies dressed as nurses. But they really just wanted to get media attention. But then they had posters and stuff about the real state of nationalized healthcare in Cuba, and Michael Moore saw that and he said, what are they mad about? And someone said, they're accusing you of being a socialist, and he just laughed, So there's different kind of tongue-in-cheek things that we've done. We've had tables at the Green Party's national convention under this meme we have called Progressives Against Progress. And it's basically, it's our way of showing them that that wealth creation is good, spontaneous order is good, trade is good. So it's us pretending in a sense that we're with them, but if they really stop and think about it, they see wow, we are really harming people and violating their rights.
Very good. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
It's almost that time.
It's all in your mouth.
Gun Owners of New Hampshire is our statewide organization protecting our firearms rights. And I'm here with Sarah Brown, who's on the board of directors for Gun Owners of New Hampshire. Sarah, I understand you're not speaking for the organization, but can you tell me a little bit about what Gun Owners of New Hampshire does to protect our firearms rights?
Well, the main focal point is to educate and inform. We try to keep track of what's going on at the State House. We try to let legislators and such know facts to try to get them to understand the different things. And then we have a number of different things that we do. That we have shooting teams connected to the organization. We also send shooting teams to the national meets out in Camp Perry, Ohio. We have a lot of affiliated clubs and businesses that we like to have people participate with. We have a quarterly newsletter that we send out.
Yeah, Firearms and Freedom, I get that.
Yes, the Firearms and Freedom, and that has a list of people that work with us and try to help. You know, I'm not sure, something else?
Well, you know, whenever an anti-gun bill comes up in the State House, you guys let people know, and it's just a zoo there at the Madhouse in Concord.
Well, that's because when you let the people know that our right, well, if we lose the right to keep and bear arms, we can't hold on to any other right. And if you have something that comes along that's a threat to that, if you let the people know it's coming down, as many of them as can get time from their jobs and such, they come in to try and help stop it or help the ones that are going to help us.
Yeah, it really is a sight to see, and that's why it's so hard to get an anti-gun bill passed in this state.
Yes, and let's pray to God that we can keep even more citizens coming out to help protect their rights any of the times these things come down.
Well, I certainly hope so, and that's why I'm a member. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you.
The Republican Liberty Caucus is here, at least in spirit, and Pro-Gun New Hampshire is the other firearms organization in the state. And I'm here with Sam Cohen, the Executive Vice President of Pro-Gun New Hampshire. Sam, can you tell me briefly what Pro-Gun New Hampshire does and how it's different from Gun Owners of New Hampshire?
Sure. We're unlike the other organizations. We were formed to work, so-called, within the system. And that is, we recruited our leadership from the legislature. We have legislators and other people respected by the legislators. But we're not in competition with the other groups. In fact, we encourage people to join Gun Owners New Hampshire, and especially Second Amendment Sisters, with whom we cooperate.
That's one of my other favorite organizations.
Mango? Yeah, mango margarita. Hold on. See what I can get out of here. I'm not real happy with this particular blender. There you go. There's a little bit more once you get that on there, guys. All right.
I like when you work